Alright guys, welcome back. Things have been a little crazy. I'm sorry I haven't really been uploading very consistently or as I promised or anything like that. There's a bunch of things going on. First of all, the Geo is sold. Yeah, I'm kind of sad about it. I'm gonna miss it, but it's going to a good home. The reason I sold it is because there's something new coming. More on that in a minute. The truck. I keep saying I'm gonna make a video on the truck. I just bought it a few weeks ago. It's a 2001 Toyota Tundra, two-wheel drive V6. Nothing really special about it. I got some plans for it though, and it's got a bunch of work that it needs done before I can really drive it a whole lot. We'll get into that whenever we get there. So, oh yeah, of course the Camry's still here. Don't plan on selling it. What we have coming. So, a little bit of a life story. In 2009, I was about, maybe 10 years old, 11 years old, something like that. My mom bought a brand new 2009 Toyota Corolla, but it wasn't quite I guess you could say it wasn't really just any Corolla, because she special ordered it with a 5-speed manual, crank windows, no power locks, like pretty much as base model as you can get back then. It did still have, cruise control, telescopic steering wheel, automatic headlights. It told you the fuel economy on the dash and all that good stuff. Other than that, nothing special about it, but it's a 5-speed manual. We had a lot of fun with that car. We only put 50,000 miles on it in the 8 years we had it. Or no, it was actually about 10 years we had it. We had it for 10 years, and we only put 50,000 miles on it. But it was a great car. It was a lot of fun to drive, 5-speed manual. I grew up in that car. I learned how to drive in that car. It's the first stick shift I ever drove. It's honestly the first car I ever drove, really. Anyway, in 2019, we sold it because Dad wanted her to get something newer, even though it only had 50,000 miles on it, but it was 10 years old. So she sold it, and then she bought a 2019 Toyota Camry. I guess she just kind of followed my footsteps because she liked mine. Anyway, so she still has that. We're in 2024 now. She still has the Camry. Now, when we sold the Corolla, we sold it to someone that we kind of knew. So at that point, we started staying in touch, or she became friends with him. Is an older lady, about her age. So she stayed in touch with her. Well, this past weekend, she told her it's for sale. The Corolla's for sale. And so she immediately told me. She called me and told me. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Are you going to buy it back? And she's like, no, we want you to have it. So I guess now it's going to be mine. So I'm about to go down to Louisiana to pick it up because, I live in Southwest Arkansas now, and it's still down there in Louisiana, 5.5 hours away. So we're going to go down there. We're going to look it over. We're going to buy it, and then I'll show you guys what it's all about. Originally, I was just going to drive the Camry there, and my buddy was going to come with me and drive back, but he couldn't make it. So my brother is coming from Louisiana to pick me up at about 3 or 4 in the morning tomorrow morning. And then that's how I'm going to get there. And then I'm just going to drive the Corolla back here. The next day. All right, we are in Louisiana. Big, huge thanks to my brother for coming to Arkansas to pick me up. And we're in my mom's new Camry that I was telling you all about. This is it, 2019. I think she likes it.
It's okay. I don't like it as much as the Corolla, but I do like it.
We're going to get the Corolla. Hopefully all that goes well. I'm not going to film too much of, the actual buying it, of course. I'll let you guys see it when we get there, and then buy it and go from there. There it is.
Oh, shit. My baby car.
All right, we bought it. It's actually the next day because there were some complications. Because, buying a car from Louisiana is not an easy task with all the paperwork and stuff you got to deal with. And also getting it done on a weekend is also kind of a show in itself. But this is our old car. It's 93,000 miles on it now. It had, I think, 50,000 when we sold it. I gave it a good once over, test drove it, Everything is perfect still. Everything is like basically like new on it. Interior's still in great shape. The seat, there's no tears in the seat. There's no scratches or scuffs anywhere. Mom's behind me and her car over there. We're gonna get back to the house and then I'm gonna let her drive it because, you know, it's her old car. It'd be a shame if I didn't let her drive it. Then we'll get on the road back to Arkansas and see how it does on a little road trip. Mom hasn't driven this car in 5 years. Let's see if... Oh, it already stalled it. Damn. Try again. Oh, there's your neighbors.
We're in wet grass.
These tires are good, actually. They hooked up pretty well on this wet road earlier. There you go. Only two tries and you got it. Well, you shifted it better than I did the first time I got back in it.
Which way am I gonna go?
It don't matter.
I guess I'll go through town. Oh, brake. That's right, that's not a brake.
Still gonna use the brake. Oh, Lord.
Oh, it squeaks.
It didn't do that to me. Huh. Whoa, easy. Slight uphill.
Gotta get the feel of it. It feels a little different than it
You
used to.
shifted a lot better than I did at first.
Yeah, because you got used to shifting a different car.
I did. I got used to
figured
shifting
that
the Geo.
I figured I'd be better with it because I hadn't become accustomed to another car. I don't know. It feels different.
It's the clutch. She had some work done on the clutch, and
The engine feels scrapier.
I find it feels perfectly smooth. I find it's actually smoother. But again, that could be just because I got used to the Camry and the Geo.
Steering wheel feels small.
It is a small steering wheel.
And here it goes.
Yeah, it's always done.
Really, it is.
It's always done that. Yeah, I remember that. Gear noise. Manual transmission gear noises.
I meant to go down that street.
Okay, so overall, first thoughts before we take it on the trip. It's had a very minor accident in the front, so it's a little twisty, but I mean, it's okay. The airbags didn't go off or nothing. There's no frame damage, so I mean, you know, and we're just happy to have the car back, honestly. It's got brand new tires on it. I looked underneath and nothing's leaking. Everything is tight. Only little issues I've found is the clutch pedal is like way up here. Someone I believe they replaced the slave cylinder, and now it's like kind of high up. Apparently it was because the clutch was slipping, so that's kind of a bad sign that it might need a clutch soon, but I'll do it. The rear shocks are blown. It bounces a good bit, and this is a solid axle car. It's got a solid axle on the rear, so it's kind of bouncy and it gets a little sketchy on bumps, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But other than that, it's perfect still. The hood was repainted and the bumper was kind of poorly repainted after the accident. The rest of the car has still got that classic bad Toyota mid-2000s paint that they had. It was a really bad year for a lot of car manufacturers back then, but Toyota had the worst white paint you could buy. There was almost no clear coat, and so it would fade within like a couple of years. And this car is about 12 years old, this car is 15 years old, so yeah, the paint is pretty much gone, aside from up here where it was repainted. And they did a good job on the hood, I must admit. Oh, sorry to interrupt. As I was editing this, I realized I forgot to point out something very important. So I know for a fact this car is ours, in case anyone was wondering, is that really y'all car? I know it is, because that dent was from one of the kids in the neighborhood crashing into it with his bike. He was fine. And then back here on the bumper right here, that was me. I accidentally dumped the clutch and slammed it into the porch when I was young, trying to move it out of the way so I can cut the grass. So this is definitely our old car. Pretty cool to have it back. Okay, back to me 2 days ago. Oh yeah, and this headlight's been replaced. This is a black one off of a Corolla S, and that's the original one, I believe. So they're mismatched. I might get two Corolla S headlights for it, or I might just go back with the original. I really don't want to do anything crazy to this thing because it's kind of an old family car. I don't really want to go crazy with it. I want to try to keep it the way it is and just drive it. It's only got 93,000 miles on it, so it's got plenty of life left in it. Anyway, I'm gonna get my stuff packed and get on the road because I got work tomorrow morning. All right, we're on the road. Here's a little pull onto the I-10 here. Just as peppy as it always was. Trying not to go too crazy with it yet because, well, it's kind of a valuable car and I'm also still not quite used to it yet. Been driving that old Geo for quite a while now. Been 5 years since I drove this one. Just got a full tank of gas. Range says we got 380 miles, which should be enough to get us there. I like that this car shows you that, even though it's a bare bones base model with manual locks and crank windows. I'm gonna get on out of this traffic and keep you guys updated. So I've been driving for a couple hours now, and a couple of things I've taken note of. This car always did have a kind of low first gear, or fifth gear. So I'm in fifth gear doing 75 on the interstate. It's well above 3,000. It's singing a little bit. I mean, it's always been that way. Great power for everything it needs to do. I always love that about this car. It's always been really peppy. Another thing, something I really like, is the stereo in this car. It's not a JBL or anything like that. It's just your base model Corolla stereo with no tweeters. Just two 6-inch speakers in the doors and two 6x9s in the back. And it sounds really good for what it is. Like, it almost sounds like there might be a 10-inch sub in the trunk. And even though it doesn't have tweeters, those little 6-inch speakers do a good job of putting out some good highs. I was thinking about doing a stereo to this car, but now I don't think I really need to. I got this little Bluetooth aux port adapter and it works somewhat well. Only problem with that is I can't change the song. You know, up here I gotta change it on the phone. It's not a big deal. One thing that I don't like is with the rear shocks being blown, especially when I was going through the Baton Rouge areas. You hit certain bumps and it gets pretty bouncy and crazy. This is Interstate 49. It's pretty much going to take me all the rest of the way and it'll be a smooth ride. So, but definitely got to fix those rear shocks soon. Other than that, this thing is great. I don't have a drop of doubt in this car. Like, this thing has always been great. It's going to continue to be. I mean, look, it's only got 93,000 or almost 94,000 miles on it. It's still got another 200, 300,000 to go. Okay, here we are. Exactly where we were at the beginning of the video. Now we have this in the driveway too. Did really good. No complaints on the trip, other than, you know, of course, the rear shocks. There's also a little small noise coming from the front end, but it might be the rear end making so much noise from the blown shocks that it's just kind of echoing throughout the car. I'm definitely going to give it, you know, a good look over, fix what needs to be fixed up here and there. And then it's definitely going to be a really good daily driver. Camry, not much to talk about there. It needs brakes on the front soon, but it's been great. It's been doing fine. Tundra needs some work done on it. It needs a timing belt and a radiator. I already have all the parts. I just got to do it. So videos on that will probably be coming soon. I highly recommend, if a car from your childhood, or, you know, a car that you sold that you miss pops up for sale and, you know, it just looks like a good deal, do it. Buy it. Buy back your childhood car. Buy back your first car. I highly recommend it. It's been quite fun. So I guess that's going to do it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.